Hello, where we're always tinkering here at Always Tinkering. This is my latest tinker. This is a Hatfield 20 gauge shotgun. Available at your local Walmart, at least if your local Walmart sells guns, for the princely sum of $99. It's available in 410, 20 gauge, and 12 gauge. Now, I have long wanted a compact folding survival gun for car, saddlebag of a motorcycle, backpack, something a little more reach out than a pistol. But the ones on the market struck me as being rather expensive for what they were, and in some cases limited, just a 22. 22 is okay, but a little more oomph would be nice. So I did a little delaying for years. Couldn't find anything I liked until this popped up. So the original is a 28-inch barrel. I made some modifications to it in order to make it fit my bill as a bug-out bag, saddlebag kind of gun. First, cut the barrel down to 19.5 inches. Next, made several modifications to the woodwork. This needs to be cut out far enough for the trigger guard to touch the barrel. As it is, it won't quite go as far closed as it does now. I also puttied in some of the large gap that's not necessary. It's not in the way of the trigger guard. So I filled that in with JB wood putty, which works quite nicely. I'm pretty happy with it. As I lost my sights, it only has a bead sight originally, I got these sights that clamp onto the rail, and as you can see with a little bit of light, they light up quite a bit. These are adjustable. They're a little finicky to get on because the hardware is very small, but be careful with it, take your time. I did it on a nice light colored old towel here, so if the screw drops it won't go anywhere and I can find it. But they're really nice bright sights. I'm sure they would be good on any shotgun. This clamp, I had it laying around. I think they're about $10, $11 anywhere online. This is a pretty inexpensive flashlight, but it has a button in the back, and it is focusable, which is not a lot of these are. Try to get a good shot of this. You can't see much of a difference at this range, but it does fill a room nicely. So I have protection, I have light. What other things might I use? Well, let's just have a look at the back end. The buttstock, or the butt plate, I've cut a little bit of a notch in it so it's easy to get your fingers behind it. There's one screw at the top, but none at the bottom. So I can give a little pull, pop the butt plate, swing it sideways. I've got a little bit of paper in here just to stop the rattling around. Now this hole is the original hole for getting to the bolt that holds the buttstock onto the receiver. It's pretty deep. It is deep enough to fit a subcaliber adapter, which I may check into getting. You can fit a Swiss Army knife in there, or you can fit two 20 gauge shells. Carry a couple extra rounds in there. And I decided that was not quite enough because I did like the idea of having the trusty old Swiss Army knife in there. So I bored a second hole parallel to this one. This is a roomy 3/4 inch hole, just big enough and just deep enough. It's about 5 inches deep to fit 2 more shells. That's a little tricky to do, to get it parallel to this hole. A little hard to do by hand. You might need a little bit of woodworking capability to do that. But it is doable. It is, again, 5 inches deep and nice and parallel to the original hole. This little dig in here holds an Allen wrench that is the size to fit the clamp that's holding on the flashlight. So I can remove the flashlight from the shotgun if I want to. And to close that, I just snap that around and it stays just fine. Now there's one more nifty little trick. See that? That's a thumb screw. This thread, for reference, is metric. The one that holds the buttstock on is a M8. This one is an M5 thread. And I'll show you the reason why I filled this in. If I pop the stock off, I routed it out with a 5/8 bullnose cutter so I can contain a spare battery for the flashlight and this. This nifty little contraption is a Keychain Lighter. Check that out. If you do a search on Keychain Lighter, this should pop right up. This is a regular, takes lighter fluid, not a butane. I got it from vat19.com. It's about $10. Really nice little item. Fits into the shotgun. Foregrip, spare battery, foregrip goes on. I am eventually going to drill this thumb screw to be an attachment for a sling. I have not picked out the sling yet. I also slightly notched the stock so that thumb screw fits in there. So now you can see this is really compact. This fits easily in a backpack. It's the paint. This is Rust-Oleum truck bed paint. This stuff, it's got a little texture to it. It's slightly rough, which I like. And it has, the more layers you put on it, the stronger it is. Now I had painted this and then did some of the woodwork after I painted it. So it has been held in clamps and vices several times, and you'd never know. That's pretty good paint. So there you go. There is my very compact, lots of bang for the buck, $100 Hatfield 20 gauge shotgun. I have shot it a few times. This thing is loud. It has a surprising amount of kick, but it's a nifty little gun. It is very tight when you first get it. I did loosen the spring screw slightly on the hammer so that made the trigger a little bit easier. I did have a little trouble. I went too far the first time and I was getting the light strikes and it wouldn't set it off. So I had to go back in and tighten up a little bit more. In any case, the bluing on the gun is really nice. The wood is pretty good quality. it's really hard to go wrong on $100 on this. It's a nice little gun. I had far more fun with this than I expected to. My original plan was it's going to live in the back of the car someplace. I may get it out and shoot it more often. Anyway, I can recommend this.